So Pogba's unfollowed Martial. He's unfollowed me as well. Bloody hell. Hello and welcome to the United Stand. How are you all doing this Wednesday morning? And look, it's a bit all over the place at the moment. We're going to be talking about Pogba, Grealish, Partey, Niguez, Werner, and lots of people basically. But just to let you know as well, it's all a bit all over the place at the moment. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's doing a press conference at 5 o'clock today UK time. We'll be live straight after that with the preview for Bruges, because I think a lot of what he's going to say in the press conference will be relevant to what the predicted lineup's going to be. So we'll do that. It's either 5 or 6 o'clock today. You'll just keep your eye out on that. But let's fly into it. It's been a big 24 hours for Manchester United. Obviously, we beat Chelsea. We've had all the Pogba stuff going on. Mino Raiola's been talking. And look, I just think the situation, we've heard a lot of people talking about it yesterday. Should Pogba be sold? Should we get rid of Pogba? I think cutting through the nonsense, Pogba wants to go. United probably accept that Pogba needs to go. But then you've got all this stupid stuff like that Real Madrid only want to pay £50 million. And I'm like, I'm just getting confused here. At what point does Pogba go from being a £150 million player to a £50 million player? He's been injured for a few months. He's won a World Cup. He's one of the best players in Europe on his day. He's worth 120 million at least. So let's forget the swaps with Rabiot and bloody Ramsey, and let's forget £50 million from Real Madrid. Pay up the money or he's going nowhere. He can rot in the reserves. That's what I think. But also, I totally agree with what Mino Raiola and Pogba are doing. And I know that's controversial, and I don't like Raiola, but I do agree with what they're doing. There is a precedent set here. United forced him to stay. They're going to try and force him to stay again. So he's got to force the move. For everybody who's having a go at Paul Pogba saying he's disloyal, this, that and the other, can we have a look at who our owners are, and can we have a look at who Ed Woodward is, and can we have a look at what's been going on at this club for the last 6 years? To scapegoat Paul Pogba for wanting to get out of a club that we all accept has been run terribly badly is somewhat hypocritical. I almost feel that if you are going in on Pogba, you're basically backing Woodward and the Glaziers, which can never be right. So for me, Pogba gets back fit, Pogba plays for Manchester United, we sell him in the summer. Happy days. That's what I like to hear. But Mino Raiola's talking about sitting down and doing a new contract, which I think is a no. And I'm not somebody who goes in on Pogba. I like him as a player. I just think it's time for him to move on. I don't think it needs to get toxic. But even as somebody who likes Pogba, I wouldn't keep him on at the club. I don't know what you lot think, but I wouldn't keep him on at the club. I really wouldn't, because I think that give him a new contract, 18 months' time, he wants to move again. Mino Raiola's always going to be Mino Raiola. And I think half the fan base don't like Pogba anymore, and I don't think you come back from that. I saw it with Rooney. Half the fan base started disliking Rooney and it never got back. So I think for everybody it's time for move on, and it's what United do with that money. And it's interesting because Grealish is now very much considered to be Manchester United's #1 target. Now, lots of credible sources talking about this, but we were talking about Grealish throughout the January transfer window, and it was Grealish or Maddison. Then I think over the last couple of weeks, a lot of United fans realise that Maddison's going to cost at least 90 million, where Grealish will be somewhere around 50 to 60. Well, yeah, I think Grealish is the better option. And also, I think Grealish may give us a little bit more steel and leadership than Maddison. And United definitely need characters. So Grealish being a candidate for Manchester United, I don't really have a problem with it. But what I would say is, I think United do need to look into Europe a little bit more. I know it's early days, but look at Bruno Fernandes. We've had our eyes opened up there. Bruno Fernandes has been here for 2 games and his quality has shone through, and we've spent £47 million on him. You'd pay double that for James Maddison. And I'm not saying James Maddison's a bad player, and I'm not saying Grealish is a bad player, but you'll pay more for Grealish than we paid for Bruno. And this is what I mean. If you scout well abroad, you can get really good talent for a lot cheaper. Thomas Partey last night against Liverpool was superb. Now, you can say he's doing it in La Liga, but he's just done it against Liverpool, and he was absolutely fantastic. So, for me, that is a player that I think United could pick up for about £50 million. And I think that, you know, if Pogba goes, you bring Partey in, you bring Grealish in, suddenly you've got a midfield that's got McTominay, Fred, Partey, Grealish, Bruno Fernandes. That is a young midfield with a couple of 25-year-olds, and you know, it's something to build with. And you could get Partey and Grealish for around £100 million. So this is where United need to look. Look, I like Saul Niguez. I thought Saul Niguez played well again last night. But whether we can get Saul Niguez or not, I did a video on Saul Niguez 4 years ago. We get linked with Saul Niguez all the time. I believe it when I see it, and he cost a lot of money. But Thomas Partey, Jack Grealish, those 2 players would come in and massively improve us. And I think, you know, you sell Paul Pogba and everyone thinks you've got to go for a great big signing. Look at what Liverpool did. They brought in Wijnaldum from Newcastle. They brought Oxlade-Chamberlain from Arsenal. Who else have they brought in that midfield? I mean, Jordan Henderson was a while ago, wasn't it? James Milner. Their signings in, Andy Robertson from Hull. Their signings are not sensational. Oh, he's going to be brilliant. I think United need to look at those sort of things, and I think Thomas Partey, Jack Grealish, they work well for United. So look, for me, let's get Pogba back. Let's get Pogba playing. Let's get Pogba out in the summer. And I think that is the logical thing to do for Manchester United. But what do you think? Would you give him a new contract if you could? Also want to talk to you a little bit about Haaland last night. Scoring again. There was never any doubt that Erling Haaland was going to be a good striker. And I think he's going to be a fantastic striker. And if he has got a release clause, he'll be going to Real Madrid or someone like that very soon. I think United missed the boat on Haaland. But would you want another Mino Raiola client at Manchester United? We've got Pogba. We've now got Jesse Lingard. Jesse Lingard is a client of Mino Raiola. We heard that it might be happening. Well, Mino Raiola quoted Jesse Lingard yesterday as a player that he takes care of. So Lingard has gone under Mino Raiola. For me, I hope that means Lingard's gone in the summer as well. I think it's great for Lingard to go. I think it's great for United to go. He needs to move on. But do you want another Mino Raiola client here in Erling Haaland? I mean, Mino Raiola can pretend all he wants, and I think what he's doing with Pogba I don't really have a problem with. Mino Raiola is what he is, but he's out to look after his clients, isn't he? That's what he's there to do. And I think with Manchester United, that is what, do we need that sort of a player? Yes, we do need Erling Haaland, but the baggage of Mino Raiola would have been a problem. And but what a player he is! He's absolutely brilliant. But I'm doing a watch along on That's Football tonight. I did do Liverpool Atletico Madrid last night. I'm doing Spurs against RB Leipzig tonight at 8 o'clock. So you can join me on That's Football for that. We'll be live for the press conference and the preview around 6 o'clock tonight, then 8 o'clock on That's Football. But I'm doing that mainly to watch Timo Werner, because yes, Liverpool are heavily linked to him, but I think he would solve a lot of problems for Manchester United. And yes, you don't get Erling Haaland, but maybe go and get Timo Werner. That's what United need to do. And Jadon Sancho played last night, and they're talking about United really in for Jadon Sancho. But it's the same old story. United have got the money, they've got the wages, they've got the contract, but it's persuading Jadon Sancho to come to Manchester United that's going to be the problem. If we can build on that result the other night against Chelsea and get top four, which, to be honest, I don't think I've spoken to you since this, top four has opened up. Like, Son is now out to the end of the season for Spurs. They've got no forwards and they're inconsistent. Chelsea are massively inconsistent. If we can find a bit of consistency, we will get fourth place. We will get Champions League football and we will get Jadon Sancho. That's what will happen. But United have got to get the Champions League football. If we fail, look, Jadon Sancho's not stupid. He's the master of his own career. He left Man City to build a career at a young age. He'll look at United, he'll look at the situation, he'll notice we beat Chelsea, and in his head he will be, well, if United get top four and Chelsea don't, I'll go to United, because that shows that they're the better team. If United mess this up from here and they don't get top four and Chelsea do, I'm going to go to Chelsea because the brand of football's better. The door to Jadon Sancho is open. We've got to walk through it. And then you come back into everything else about Solskjaer. I mean, if you haven't checked the Flex and Rant show out, do check it out. It went up last night. Rant's saying that he wants Ollie out even if he wins the World Cup with Norway, Champions League with United, the treble, whatever, he'd still want him out. I think that's a little bit too far. We're going to give Ollie till May. I think that's what we're going to do with Ollie, and we'll see what happens from there. But for me, I think Manchester United just need to move on and focus between now and May. That's what we need to do. But for Pogba, I think Pogba needs to go. Grealish would be a decent player to bring in. And I'd definitely be looking at Thomas Partey. I really want to emphasise that. I don't know what you lot think. Get in the comments. What do you think about Pogba? Would you give him a new contract? Who should be brought in to replace him? I mean, look, if you're asking me who I want, we've got Maguire, Maddison, Grealish or Niguez, I'd take Niguez. I think he'd be absolute star quality in the Premier League. I think he's better than both of those. But price-wise, he might be a little bit more. If you're asking me if I want Thomas Partey at Manchester United, well, yes, I do. And I think we've seen with Bruno already, and we're going to see with Bruno week after week, this is a player that if you scout well in Europe, you pick up for a reasonable price and they make a big, big difference. City have been doing it for years, whether it's David Silva, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne. They bought players from Europe for under £60 million who came into this league and they were world class. United need to look at that. Thomas Partey will do it. He was brilliant against Liverpool last night. He'll be brilliant against Liverpool at Anfield in a few weeks. United need to use their European scouts more. And I don't know why we don't, because you'll get a better quality of player and you'll save money, which surely is what Manchester United need to do. So for me, that's what United need to do. But if we're going to go for Grealish, I'm happy with Grealish, but I would like Grealish and Partey and Pogba out the door. Get your comments in, smash a like on the video. We'll be live with the Club Bruges preview straight after Ollie's press conference this evening. It'll either be just after 5 or just after 6. MUTV says it's at 5, but then they're doing it at 6. So we'll find out. We'll be live for that. Smash a like, subscribe if you're new. Check out the Flex and Rants video. Very interesting views from Rants on the Ollie situation. Some agree, some don't. Thanks for watching.